Okay, I am ready too. So this is my time. Hello, my name is Milo, and 2 years ago I set myself a challenge. I started working in arguably one of the best restaurants in the world. I wanted to create a better, cohesive synergy between the specialty coffee industry and chefs in order to benefit both. During this process, something remarkable happened. Chefs became inspired by the way we prepare our coffees, and in return, I became inspired by the design of a dish in which different ingredients uplift one another. Today, I will brew you the most exciting cup of coffee I have ever had by using three different ingredients, by using three different coffees. The first coffee I want to introduce to you is of the geisha variety, and it was obtained on the 90 plus estate in Ethiopia. It was processed using their folio. Method, and this involves placing the whole cherries and the leaves of the same coffee plant into a controlled fermentation tank for 3 days. In here, native yeast and lactic acid bacteria thrive, creating an incredible acidity, which is vibrant and bright and reminds me of a sparkling kombucha. The second coffee I want to introduce to you has been produced, by John Tangasca and it's Finca Sarsa in Colombia. It is of the Pacamara varietal, and it underwent a carefully applied natural thermal shock process. After the anaerobic fermentation reaches its peak, the cherries are then cooled down quickly. This causes the coffee pores to contract, effectively trapping volatile aromatics inside. I specifically selected this coffee to intensify the flavor, adding characteristics of tropical fruits and berries to my final cup. Finally, for my third coffee, I've selected the Eugenioides, grown by Finca Inmaculada in Colombia. This ancient species of coffee was processed as a natural to retain as much of its inherent qualities. It is distinct for its high levels of sweetness due to its reduced amount of polyphenols, creating an incredible acidity that reminds me of candied lemons, especially in the colder stages of my brew. Now, as you can tell, this is going to be an exciting cup of coffee, and this serves a great brewing recipe. So, I started by dosing my coffee 15 grams, and I'll be pouring a total of 250 grams of water to my coffee bed. This water sits at 92 degrees Celsius, and I'll be using 2 kettles to maintain a stable brewing temperature throughout all 3 cups. For my first pour, I added 40 grams of coffee, followed by an additional 60 grams. And for my final 2 pours, I'll be adding 75 grams of water each. I let each pour rest for 45 seconds, and I found that this specific pouring pattern emphasizes that vibrant acidity, and it adds a syrupy mouthfeel to my coffee when hot and warm. The water mineral composition plays a critical role in my brewing recipe, acting much like seasoning in cuisine. So, me and my team, we have designed this specific mineral composition with calcium, magnesium, and bicarbonates in order to intensify the flavors while also maintaining cup clarity. Also worth mentioning is that I ground my coffee quite coarsely and as cool as I could by using dry ice, which sits at minus 79 degrees Celsius, making my coffees more brittle. I have learned that this has a big impact on the grind size distribution, making it more narrow and thus increasing my grind quality, making my cups so much more juicy. Now, for my brewer, I have selected the Origami Air, And I simply love this brewer because it allowed me to experiment using all different kind of paper filter options. So in the end, I started experimenting and I came across the hybrid chipped filters by Sibarist. And these are incredible. They are essentially cone-shaped, but with their tip cut straight. By removing this tip, a more even extraction is encouraged. Increasing the acidity levels of my coffee, but still keeping them structured. In addition, I'm using a metal mesh, which sits perfectly underneath these paper filters. It attracts the water by creating contact points, allowing the water to pass through more evenly. Creating a cup profile that is complex, especially in the colder stages. Now, I am brewing directly into your cups. And these cups are amazing, and they have been made specially for you guys. Not only do they look amazing, but they have a bunch of different features that enhance your coffee drinking experience. They are elegantly shaped and have a distinct violet color, symbolizing that energetic acidity you'll experience in each cup, in each sip. They are heavy, yet they are smooth, giving a great tactile experience. And finally, they come with lids to assess volatile aromatics, which you will be assessing shortly, so please write down. For the aroma, you will find aroma is delicate and soft, with black berries up front, followed by cacao nibs and raspberry jam. For instructions, please lift up the lids and assess the aroma as much as you would like. And if you are done assessing, you can place the lid on the wooden coaster in front of you. And I'll be back in a minute. All right, let's continue if you guys are ready. Let's continue with the other assessments. So please write down the flavor is complex but clean. When it's hot, you will find passion fruit, dark cherries, and blue grapes. When it's warm, you will find blue grapes again, now accompanied by hibiscus and red apple. When it's cool, you will now find white grapes, raspberries, and jackfruit. The aftertaste, when it's warm, it will be lingering and sweet, highlighting cacao nibs. And when it's cool, it will be long and intense, reminding me of candied lemons. The acidity, when it's hot, it will be medium plus, sparkling like a kombucha. When it's cool, it will be high, malic and crisp, like a fresh red apple. The sweetness will be high in all three stages. Candy-like, reminding me predominantly of candied raspberries. And finally, the mouthfeel. When it's hot and warm, it will be syrupy. And when it's cool, it will be juicy. Now, use your cupping spoons to stir the coffee to integrate each layer of coffee, and this is my time.